Hello, all of you who's watching this podcast. I'm Red November, representing Sunday Wars Universalis, SUV in short. We are a Europe Universalis for multiplayer community, and this is our second session podcast. We started our journey from 1491, and right now we just entered 1541. We are here to talk about what happened during the span of 50 years. Now that we introduce our community, let me introduce myself and my colleagues. I'm host of this session, and my nickname is Red November. I'm playing Poland in this campaign. I'm here with Frozen, who is playing Muscovy. Twin is with me, who is playing Wells, and Sideways, who rose like a phoenix in Iberia, but still being a poor country. So let's start underlying what we will be talking today. We will be talking about what has happened, who fought against who, and martyrs of our session. We are not going to talk about the personal diplomas of players and their potential allies or their enemies for the next session. We do not want to spoil things in advance. We will start introducing players and countries from the Iberian region, and slowly we will travel the world. I hope you guys enjoy this session and the next ones which we will follow this one. So let's go to Iberia, Twin. So we are in Iberia. The last time we were here, Castile lost a battle against Aragon and was dying, and now we see the rise of Castile, born from the ashes. Sideways, what happened in Iberia?
So the phoenix is a mythical bird with fiery plumage that lives up to 100 years. Near the end of its life, it settles in its own nest of twigs, which then burn ferociously, reducing the bird and nest to ashes. And from those ashes, a fledgling phoenix rises, renewed and reborn. Because let's think about it. How can you rise if you have not burned? This is the story of Castile. Once starting as a nice, great nation, we fell. We started to burn. But once again, through these ashes, we rise once more as a phoenix. So basically what happened here is that, how should I put this? I lost the war to Aragon, last podcast we talked about this. But then in this podcast, I got a bit of a helping hand from Florence. And when Aragon attacked me the first time, Florence allied me, and he helped me to push Aragon back. But because of the way the war score works, I could only stab it for 3 provinces, basically, 2 of my cores and 1 in Sicily. And then on a second follow-up war, we attacked again. So right now we have Aragon in the full siege, but because of the way that war score works, we only have 99% war score because rebels own provinces, which is so stupid. We're just trying to see, I guess, to try to get 100 war score and maybe stop hit it out or force it out. Aragon did go bankrupt at one point, but I guess since all these troops were killed, he loses no money anymore, so he can't go bankrupt anymore, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm still surprised to see you alive actually. I was expecting you to die, but
never. I already said it. I will rise again like a phoenix.
What is with these occupied provinces, by the way? Is Florence gonna get those? The one in Catalonia?
I don't know what's going on here. I don't really care. I'm borderline dead nation, so.
All right. I just see it
Well, it's interesting. What happened with Portugal? I saw he was colonizing, and then he got attacked by Desmond, Ireland, and he sold.
If that happened in this session, well, I was AFK basically. So I told them I was AFK because I was doing something. And when I came back, I saw Portugal had unconditionally surrendered to Desmond. So I asked him what happened, and he said Desmond attacked his colony in Brazil, and he enforced peace on Desmond. And then I think they killed all his ships or something, and then killed his troops because he had more troops in Brazil than Portugal. So Portugal, I guess, unconditionally surrendered, and Desmond took all of the Brazil stuff, and he also took Quetta.
Oh, wow. Iberia is being severely bullied in this game.
Yep.
Well, nothing I can do about it, to be honest. Nothing can be done. You have an Aragon and a Castile here. So it's 2 weak nations fighting against each other. Individually, they're pretty shit, honestly. It's only when they're together that they're actually a fighting force. And it's all 1550 and still basically 1444 borders going on in Iberia. It's just a mess.
Yeah, it's for 100 years you guys were fighting against each other, and now the
Yeah.
unification is close. And Castile sideways will be the Spain, not Castile anymore.
No, well, you never know. Aragon could always probably get help from someone, so you don't know what will actually happen. But because of this, anyway, the whole point is because of this. England basically has a free game. France has a free game, to be honest. Even though I have my age bonus in this age, it will never be useful because, like, what is this? I'm just trying to come back. That's all.
That's correct. You know, like we will be talking about this, like when we talk about France, but uh, Austria's inability or maybe lack of will to intervene in the region uh, caused France to grow without limits for England as well. And because Iberia is still fighting, no one is challenging France or England, and they are making so much money.
Yeah. To be honest, the only reason Iberia is alive is because France didn't want to go there. If he had actually attacked Iberia, he could have just killed both of us anyway long ago. Because like we're just both weak. Aragon player didn't want to work together, so we're both weak. If France had ever attacked us, he could just conquer all of Iberia. To be fair, he should probably just attack Iberia and take it all. It would be more useful than leaving these lands here to just keep fighting each other, doing nothing.
Yeah, it's an interesting region. Like I never saw 100 years war in Iberia. It usually ends up one side killing the other, and then France intervenes and kills the other one.
Well, no. Usually, what happens is one side allies France, and then France like helps that one side kill the other side, and then France kills the winner. But France did nothing this time, so
Yeah.
Except
I
for
mean-
humiliation wars.
Yeah.
except in the English wars.
He's the only kind of worried.
Well,
about something.
maybe his strat is to like keep us have us keep fighting each other so he can expand into Germany, knowing that we'll forever be weak. Later, he'll come and pick up the pieces.
We will be talking about like when we come to France. But when I was talking with Twin, I told him France is still playing tall, and he told me he's just waiting for aggressive expansion to cool down.
Yeah, he is. He is. I can
He
show the
is,
map,
he is.
aggressive expansion map. So.
It has 100 aggressive expansion. Like anybody, I completely laughed when I first heard people coming to me saying France is going to be playing tall, and I'm like, Augie's gonna play tall. Oh, okay, yeah, keep telling yourself that. Or I asked Arziel, like, so Arziel, like, what are you gonna be doing in France? Like, are you friendly with France? Or he's like, oh no, Augie, you know, he's gonna be playing tall. He just wants the French region. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, the last time I saw, France warned Austria
Yeah.
in game. Okay, yeah, we will be talking about France, like the meme France, very soon. But now let's talk about Italy. And now we have the Italian region. We started with 5 players in the region, and now we are reduced to 2 players, Florence and Venice. Venice is still expanding beyond Italy, not in Italy, because Florence is dominating Italy right now, and also intervened in Iberia. And I must say, Toon is doing great, and also Jibo, who is playing Venice, is also doing great. They are both making quite a lot of money and quite strong. Do you guys want to say anything about this region?
Yeah, right now Italy is basically dominated by one country. Like Venice is not as strong in Italy as Florence, and if that's going to a one-on-one, Florence will probably win because like Venice has, I think, a lot less depth. But if it wasn't a one-on-one, then Venice would most likely win because it's like Venice, Austria, Hungary. Just look at the map, you can see that's a meme at this point versus Florence, so that would be like one-sided. Well,
Yeah,
actually, Florence has France on its side too, but apparently France got pushed back by the Austrian bloc, which is very ironic considering the fact that Austria bloc could have held back France and Ottomans, but about 5 years before, France declared a humiliation war in Austria, and Austria gave in.
Yeah, like we must start this. I mean, we are talking about France more than we are talking about other countries.
And I have to also stress the fact that when France declared this humiliation war, Austria had 100 AE on him, and France already had a coalition that had all the German miners in it.
Yeah, someone needs to talk with Arzial to show him how to play Austria 101. Like the whole idea of being having the empire is to keep France out and Ottomans out. Yes, Ottomans are there, but France is in the empire. Like there is like this dilemma.
You want to have both out. But about Italy, why did Florence help Castile? Like, what is his gain? Is it for these islands over here?
What do we know is his gain? He just got Naples and he got Sicily, and he's probably, I don't know if he can get it in the same war, but he can get Corsica also. That's all Aragon's lands. What do you mean? What's his gain? That's
Okay,
basically all about Italy.
Okay, so he joined because of those islands in Italy. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, like look at all the land in Italy that Aragon
Yeah.
owns.
Yeah.
A good move by him.
Yeah. Can you show their income? Like they are actually both quite making money, Florence and Venice.
The oh, look at that! Almost 80 ducats. Mostly from trade as well.
That's nothing. I make more than that. Come on, man. I completely make more than that.
And
Yeah.
Venice.
I think his balance is more than my income.
Oh jeez. Yeah, Venice is making the ducats from trade,
Oh wow!
but he's also paying people. So
Doesn't matter. He's still making plus 70.
Yeah. It's a strong country. Economic, not military, but
Yeah.
economic is a strong country.
This income is probably close to France. I mean, like,
not a great army though. Like force limit is 38.
I mean, he has.
Do
a
you
whole-
really need army when you can just fund Austria, Hungary, Bohemian alliance to kill people for you?
What kind of ideas does he have? Okay, he's
Yeah.
going full trade. pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much full trade. I mean, it's good for him. He
I'm
probably
guessing
can
he's
stay alive.
going to become. Yeah, I'm guessing he's trying to become the Bank of East Europe.
I'm wondering how the strategy is gonna pan out in the late game. Maybe if Hungary and Austria gets bigger incomes themselves and they're no longer as reliant on Venice.
Well, no, like it doesn't matter how big you become. If Venice focuses on trade, he can make 10 times what you can make on your own. Like, sure, they could maybe make, I don't know, 50 ducats in Genoa, in Venice, right? But then Venice himself could probably make 200 there and sub them 60, so they still make more.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Do you guys notice this, by the way? France
Yeah,
is
France is
pirating.
private.
Oh my god.
Look at what the trade share is like, will you? Let's see how
I mean, I guess it's a good thing France was playing tall.
Yeah, France is playing tall.
much.
Not much, but he's still pirating though. That's pretty funny.
It's still, I saw him like when he first actually started to pirate. It was like 30%, but then sent his trade to protect
Oh, wait.
trade.
Yeah.
Oh, click on the trade node again. Let's see.
They're not pirating anymore. They have enough protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see the like protect. Yeah, they are protecting. That's fine.
It's insignificant at this point.
Well, I mean, all he has to do is make nice with Castilian. Let me get all of Iberia, then I'll send my pirates also. You know, just give me all of Iberia, and I'll send pirates also.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, Italy is quite rich and reduced to 2 players. Maybe it will be reduced to 1 player at some point, but that is yet to be seen. Which will be exciting if that happens. Let's move to France, guys. And now we have France, played by Ogi, playing tall and spreading his influence by playing tall. I must say he is doing quite great. Like he was quite neutral, but at some point he intervened on the Ottoman side in this, I believe, Second Hungarian Ottoman War, and he took Tyrol mine from Austria, and he got a lucky event. Soldiers demanded pay, and they reduced Tyrol to ashes, 50 devastation, and Austria was literally making no money at all from his gold mine. I must say he's been quite great. Like, I'm just impressed.
And by being pretty neutral, what red really means is humiliating all of his neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to take land, he just keeps hitting the wrong button.
I just think he doesn't want the AE. Something to do while AE takes down.
Yeah, I mean, you should tag to France and show us how much PP he has. And
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. The thing is,
It's 100. He said he has
Austria is just
100.
Austria is
doesn't
so scared of him.
Yeah.
Austria is so scared of him that he
Oh.
doesn't even want to fight against him.
It's humiliation time, I guess.
Yeah.
He's about to
He's
take
lacking
land.
behind. Okay, if you're
He's
listening,
lacking.
it's time for humiliation.
Yeah, soon you'll no
Yeah.
longer have over 50. Losing
Oh,
its
look.
wide points.
Austria's on the list.
Oh wow, I'm on the list. That's not good.
No, that's not so good. Uh,
Yeah.
ca-
Brother,
ca-
he might come for you.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Can I point something else? I think Augie did it diplomatically very great in this in season. Like he knew that Austria was gonna focus on the east, right? So he just threatens Austria that he needs to let him in, otherwise he's gonna attack Austria constantly. And then they let him in, and then he's gonna keep attacking anyway. Like he really took advantage of Austria focusing on the east.
I literally told Arziel that would happen. Like I asked him what he's gonna do with France, and he said it. And I told him this is exact situation will happen here. He'll be in the HRE, and then he's just gonna attack anyway. Because now he knows when he attacks, Austria can't call in anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I told Arzia this as well. Like, we were so chatting, like, and I was like, you know, Oggy's like a great player. He will keep his promise, but playing tall doesn't mean he will be neutral like all the time. Like, I don't know why he was so scared of France. Yeah, Oggy is a great player, but look at Austria's alliance. They smashed Ottoman Empire, like Austria, Venice, Hungary, Bohemia. I'm not sure why Austria is still so scared, like a small kitten.
I think he's just pursuing goals in the east, instead, and he's
What's the relation between like France and Prussia and stuff? Who's Prussia even allied to?
Prussia is allied to me, and I believe he's allied to me right now, and also Russia.
Oh, okay. Because like if Prussia and France are to ally, that's kind of pretty troublesome for Austria right there.
You know, that is also a mistake of Austria. Like, I'm Poland, right? Prussia is just like next to my border. He was Brandenburg, and we are like talking constantly. Austria doesn't care about Cologne or like anyone else. He only cares for Venice and Hungary, and he focuses on one side of the game, and literally doesn't give any care like to France or like to West what's happening. He just
Oh.
like focuses on one side, leaving all others.
I think you should at least give him credit for, they dismantle the Ottomans. It's a little dead for them. So, I mean, it's not
I'm
like
giving
they're not
credit.
accomplishing anything.
That's actually not a great accomplishment because honestly, dismantling the Ottomans isn't a big achievement. And the reason I say that is late game, they become the easiest, let's say, major to handle because of the degradation in the troop quality. But like now, if you have a major France or a major Prussia on your border, there's no troop degradation late game. It gets better and better. It actually gets the same
Yeah,
quality as you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not going to be an issue for him. I'm just saying, I mean, at least it's not like he's been doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I think he's in a rough spot here. It's going to be hard to expand from here. He's going to
I
have to fight
guess-
some costly wars.
I guess one of the biggest contrasts you can see is that the Austria last game, it kind of beat back France, and France was being mean bordered out of HRE and out of his alliance. And this game, and then Ottomans are pushing forward. And in this game, Ottomans are pushed back, and then France is mean bordering into HRE. So it's a bit of a contrast on what happened last game.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very difficult to play Austria and handle both sides.
But he had like a very strong military alliance with Austria, like Hungary and Bohemia, and he was smashing like everyone in front of them. And I'm just like surprised that he actually doesn't do anything about France.
I also want to talk about the Ottomans. Like, you can kill the Ottomans, but you'll just get 2 Ottomans back in the form of Mamelukes and Persia. You know, like, it might even be worse to have a Persia that owns
Yeah,
Anatolia.
Yeah, Persia that owns Anatolia is actually pretty scary because Mamluks owning Anatolia, it's kind of like, oh wow, well, great, because it's basically Ottomans owning Anatolia. They push their kind of bad trade forward, and that's it. But when Persia owns Anatolia, all that Persian gold starts to funnel forward, and that's insane cash, and they just build up so big.
I think Persia has a much more of an incentive to go east and west, though, because, I mean, the Persian trade note's already good. If you own Anatolia, you can get pirated, and there's lots of debt in India that you can try to take.
Hey!
I mean, just in general.
No. Don't give him ideas.
Though that is true, if you own Anatolia up to Constantinople, near Constantinople at least, you can try to block people from the west from actually coming towards you. Like the only place they can come through is the 2 choke points in what's it called, the Caucasus Mountains, and then you could just basically blockade the strait, or get an ally to blockade the strait for you. So that's like a good defensive setup for you. But
Yeah.
if you go to the east, you kind of start exposing yourself in a lot of lands.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Let's also talk about England, and we have to talk about him as well because, guys, Tilly, you have to show it. You have to show his income.
Ah, yeah. Wait. Let's see. England's income, it's the highest, right? Yeah, it definitely is.
Yes. Highest income by far. Like, definitely, he's doing so great.
He got all the trade notes. He got all his goals, I think. Like Lubeck
Yeah.
node,
At some
channel.
point, so what he was doing, I know personally because I was involved in his affairs. He attacked Denmark. He took Switzerland, and I had Lubeck. So he asked, we negotiated for Lubeck, and we decided to, like, I would give him and he would pay me money. And then he basically literally attacked HRA members. Or when he saw HRA members attacking trade cities, he supported those small miners and won the war for them, so he could annex them later. And Austria again didn't do anything to stop him from taking it. Cologne, who is allied to France, had several skirmishes with England, and at some point France and England were allies, but now they separated their alliance because France wants to side with Cologne, and now they have a border war with Great Britain. I think in the next session, if a war starts, lowlands will be occupied, and England might lose some of his income.
All I want to say is that, if France, were to support his fellow members, his neighbors in Castile, there would be a 100% guarantee that there'd be Spanish troops in London. Just saying, just saying. So if France ever had ambitions of crossing the strait, you know where to come. I'm just saying.
Just pointing out, right? Yeah, we know England is like doing great. Like basically, he's controlling most of the trade centers and just steering all the trade to English Channel, and then collecting there. Quite awesome. Like Cologne is also is in his way, so it's an important member of the HRA as well. And relations between Cologne and England might result in a war, and then it will include France. That is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Something I want to point out as well is that he actually goes for the military ideas. He didn't go for trade ideas. He went for quality and offensive.
Yeah, I think Sideways still is a bit skeptic, but I would say he's doing quite great. His force limit is very large. But
When
I'm not sure.
when was I skeptic? I never said he wasn't doing well.
No,
I just said because
He could-
of the conflicts in Iberia, he's having a free game. That doesn't
That's
mean I'm
correct.
skeptic.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that he can fight land battles as well. Great Britain. He has the ideas.
He has the ideas, yes.
Those are standard ideas for Britain, to be honest. Those are the ones I pick also. It's his army, his land army is going to be pretty decent, but it's not going to be amazing. And to be fair, because of the new ideas to England's navy, the kind of setup he has there is the kind of setup I might start to change to in the future, because like maritime right now is not as necessary early. Usually what I would do is exploration, quality maritime, then offensive. So that way my navy is strong enough. But because your navy is already strong enough, I can now do quality exploration offensive. And then like maybe never take maritime, or like maybe someone goes maritime naval, that becomes kind of a bit of an issue. So then I can go take maritime or something to compete with that.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't upgrade his visors actually.
No. I'm
Can't
sure.
afford it. Like I'm
He can
doing it
afford
right now. Look.
It's
Yeah.
not always the best thing to do it. Like you still have buildings to build. When you're finished spamming your buildings, then you can do that.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's better to just spam your buildings though.
How many buildings has he made? Last time we checked his country, he didn't have that many manufacturers. Oh, now he's now he has.
Yeah, yes, quite a lot now. Can still build a little bit.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Totally.
if he wants to build more buildings, he needs to dev up his provinces. Then you need higher advisors. That's what I meant.
A great country. Let's move to Ottomans and talk about the Middle East. And like
Before we
the
go to there, could I like I thought we were going to go to Poland because I wanted to ask a question here.
okay.
Because I actually messaged you in game about this, and it was the most bizarre thing. Poland, you mentioned this a while ago also. Poland got Lubeck, and suddenly
Yeah.
I'm seeing England Poland declares on England, and then now England has Lubeck. So you said England paid you. What sort of money does England pay you to give him full control over Lubeck?
Okay, so let's move to Poland first and talk
Yeah.
about Polish-Hungarian war because we need to address that. So I had Lubeck at some point in the game, and I talked with England because he was interested in taking trade regions, and we made a deal. I gave him Lubeck, but how? Because as a country who is very limited with expansion, I can't oh yeah, I just can't declare humiliation war and humiliate someone. I don't have prestige, and I didn't want to sell 2 provinces for 20 prestige. I'm already like having moral issues for my army. I decided to declare a war, and then he will just get the provinces from me, and then he paid in front 1,000 ducats, and in game, I had a war with Hungary and HRA, and he literally paid me 17 ducats per month. So even though my country was almost fully occupied, I never had to take any loans. So he's like sending gifts, giving me subsidies when I ask for it. He's helping me to stay alive.
Oh, so there's like a ongoing payment here.
Yeah, ongoing payment. He's still paying me right
Okay,
now. Like
okay. Because I thought you were going to say he paid you 1,000 ducats for Lubeck, which should have been okay.
Not just 1,000.
Really stupid.
Beforehand, he paid 1,000 ducats, and it was really great for me because I was like in constant wars, and as we can see, I lost some land to Hungary, to Bohemia and such, and so he actually helped me like in those difficult times by paying me money.
And does he pay Prussia also, or what?
He's not paying it as of now.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about the HRA's expansion. We need to talk about it. But first, we need to talk about their first initial attack to Ottoman Empire because it actually involved so many players. Twin, can you orientate the map so we can explain how the war started?
Yes.
And now, when we want to talk about this war, we need to talk about Sweden. We have the guest from Sweden. Gandalf is here with us. Hello, Gandalf.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, so how the war started? Ottoman Empire, let's say Ottoman Kingdom, was played by Faisal this session, and he actually did pretty good. Hungary attacked him. He called Bohemia, Austria, and Venice, and they started to siege him. And Faisal also got attacked by the Mamluks and Persians. But before he was fighting against Hungary, he stacked like 60k Austrians, and then me, Moscow, Sweden decided to intervene on the Ottoman side, and it was a really interesting war. Frozen, Gandalf, what do you guys want to say about this?
Well, I was hoping Austria would peace out pretty fast because I wasn't really interested in fighting them. I wanted to fight the East. I just wanted the Ottomans to be alive for that. But of course, Arshel was way too stubborn for that. So we ended up having to fight for a long time. And we had battles in Anatolia, and they were even invading Russia at one point. So it was very tense, and I was a bit worried that because of the ideas I picked, my army would be kind of weak. But I didn't really have any issues with the battles, mostly just through sheer numbers, pretty much. I was able to win. So eventually, Faisal gives away Western provinces in the hope that we can stabilize and try to, kill off Persia and Mamluks, and that went actually pretty well. I think we got a peace deal where he got Halab and some stuff in Syria, basically from the Mamluks. And things looked less bleak for a short while until the Second War came around, and yeah, we didn't really have the resources to help him. So I guess this is the result from that. But the first one was actually not that bad.
Yeah,
And
Sweden
I was
was
promised
doing
Georgia
well.
for helping, but he wasn't able to sell me everything before Persia came, so that was a bit unfortunate for me.
Yeah, that was an interesting war.
Yeah,
Gandalf,
I walked
yours.
all the way down to Cairo in that first one. So
Yeah, Gandalf, how you decided to intervene on the Ottoman side from Sweden to march to Anatolia and Syria? What took your interest?
Well, I didn't like that they were killing Ottomans. It felt like the balance of power was at stake there. So I wanted to intervene and restore Ottoman to their former glory. But we kind of failed in that.
Uh, Gandalf's Swedish army had an engagement near Crimea against the Austrians. He was outnumbered, as always Swedes are outnumbered, but he actually sent them back to Vienna quite fast. Uh, yeah, that was actually interesting. So Hungarians first attacked Ottomans, and then we Muscovites, Ottomans, and Swedish just pushed them back, and then Mamluks attacked, and then we also pushed them back. But at the first, we all like Ottomans just decided to focus on the east. He gave his land to Hungary on the Balkans, and then we all went to Cairo together. But at the meanwhile, I was also attacked by Hungary, and I was at Syria basically. And by the time I returned, my forts were occupied, and I just had Crimea to defend, which was not easy by any chances. We had some people intervening, even Uzbeks intervened at some point, but by the sheer number of their military, we just couldn't compete against them. So to win for Mughals to intervene in the region, how we decided to intervene on the Polish side?
Well, I like to keep Muscovy as a friend, so whenever he's fighting a war, I'd like to join him so he doesn't expand into me. That's the whole rationale here.
Yeah, a smart policy, I would say.
Also, what is up with these borders of Austria and Greece and Turkey? Like, the worst borders I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think they are kind of having an issue of how to expand and where to expand. So
Yeah.
they're just trying to get whatever they could, like trying to, because Venice is only interested in trade regions.
Yeah,
So
Venice I understand, but like, what the fuck is up with Austria and Greece, man? And this shit so ugly.
so ugly, definitely.
That kind of shows though that they are gonna probably be long-term allies, right? If they expand like this.
Yeah, I don't think like we will see.
Well, it could just be that they do this for now and then betray each other later.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, like accepting people their relations. Like they, according to our rules, you cannot have three-player alliances unless you finish influence and diplomacy. If you cannot two alliance slots, and if you have a minor, it would cost one. So in total three. But Hungary allying Austria means Austria calling like it's just like one more alliance, and it's like a 30k army joining the war next to 60k Austrians, which is 90k in total. Even Moscow doesn't have that much number at his side.
Yeah.
And now we have the Middle East region. The last time we were here, Mughals were Uzbek, QQ was QQ, and now he's Persia. And Mamluks is expanding, killing Oman, and taking more and more territories for himself. Yeah, we were talking about exchanging Ottomans to Persia. So what do you guys say? Because I'm not actually involved in this region pretty much. Mughals and Moscow, you guys are pretty much involved in the region.
Uh,
You
I go
can
on
go
first.
first if you like.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, if you insist. We'll show us the Persian income then, maybe we can start with that.
Yeah.
I mean, things have been going pretty much as good as they could have gone, I think, for this QQ player. He's been... Oh wow, it's 100 ducats here. I don't want to say unopposed, but I don't think the way here has been very rocky for him. It's...
He had
Yeah,
a good game.
yeah,
Also,
he's had a
Timurids,
pretty good start.
Timurids dying, Ottoman's dying. Like, he has a really nice land.
So he is definitely going to be very, very strong. I haven't really spoken too much with him. Maybe I should have. So we'll see.
I've tried. He doesn't respond to me.
It doesn't respond to you.
I
Yes,
response in game, not on Discord. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, I said it last podcast as well. These guys are a real power couple. I think they can do really well in the long term as well. They keep it up.
Yeah, as
And
long as they
Mamluks.
work together, like they
Yeah.
have much to give.
I think Augie must be very jealous of Persia's power projection.
And
I'm
definitely,
surprised he doesn't have more prestige though. I wonder where all his prestige went. Maybe it disinherited or something.
maybe.
Yeah, looks like it, because his heir is 8 years old.
That's probably it then.
Yep. It's like they are a strong couple. Persia is a strong. His leader is also giving him discipline, and it's a tough opponent. We fought against him in Anatolia and in Syria, and it was like some close battles.
Yeah, the Persian army is always quite strong at this point in the game.
Yes.
He actually has an admiral as well.
Interesting.
He got a
That's
He
interesting.
got a navy. Protecting the trade.
Yeah.
Hey, he's stealing the trade from the Indians.
And the maneuver pips help the trade protection, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
and we have unfortunately the death of Oman. Rest in peace, Kreshka.
Moment of silence for our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Can we have a moment of silence for him?
All right, the moment is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're supposed to do playing Rashid Suleiman. Like if if your neighbor stumbles you there, there's literally nothing you can do, I feel.
Actually, I played Rasids one time, and your Rasids into Yemen, it's actually pretty strong. Because before 1500, I had at least a 30 ducat income, and my army size, I think, was between 20 and 30k, which is not, of course, which is not the most amazing thing out, right? But the only land I really had was around that southern Arabia part, and I was starting to push into Africa, which is, of course, another opportunity for expansion. And I have all my mountains and stuff I can defend in and my really good ideas. So it might seem like it's not really a viable nation to play, but considering Mamluks die 99.9% of the time to Ottomans, this time being one of the few exceptions, you have a lot of potential as like Oman and Rasids. And of course, Persia and Timrij would be knocking heads against each other for a while. So you do have time to expand and do stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah, my dream
See,
is
though.
shattered. My dream to ride my horses to Valhalla. It's not going to happen.
You can ride them elsewhere,
Yeah.
like to Austria.
Oh, I when this time Polish armies are not coming to rescue Vienna. They are coming to occupy Vienna. Yeah. Let's not talk about this. Let's all. I'm hoping to talk about like it in the future, not here today.
Well, you could choose Makas, maybe. Makas have grown pretty strong. compared to
Not
the
yet.
king.
He will have his own channel. He will have his own channel. But first we need to go to Africa. And now we are talking about Africa. We have Ethiopia player born from the ashes. Paul player Silvars moved to Ethiopia and decided to try his chance here. And now he basically secured some borders, but he's landlocked, isn't he? To north he has Mamluks. To south he has Majapahit. Kilva got killed by Majapahit, and now we have an interesting region. And now we have Mali, who is going strong, and I don't know. It sounds interesting. What Frozen? What do you say about this region?
Well, Mali is quite interesting. What's his income like now? Oh yeah, it's not too bad.
I want to point something else. Can I?
Yeah,
of
just
course.
do it.
So, last time, Mali ended with a 0-0-0 queen. And now again, he has a 0-0-0 regency.
Oh dear.
Unsurprising, he's behind on tech.
This guy is like
Oh, that's so unfortunate for him, actually. Oh,
so
wow.
unfortunate. Our small backlink. Mm. he's
Yeah.
working nice with England as well, like, but like Regency Council is just pushing him way behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Oh wow, he's doing exploration.
That's a bit
Maybe he's
odd,
trying
actually.
yeah. Maybe he wants to colonize all this like empty land.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he would just get the first colonist from exploration and then just drop the idea group later.
Maybe.
You
He's
understand what I'm
actually
saying?
Yeah.
But he's investing more in it, so I guess he's planning to keep it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know. We should invite him as a guest next session if he doesn't get the Regency Council.
If he gets it again, then it's just a meme, man.
Yeah, that's that's just gonna be a meme
Yeah.
if he gets it.
Maybe he's gonna colonize his way all the way over to Ethiopia. You can do that,
That's
right?
interesting, yeah.
He can.
And kill him.
Maybe.
Looks like
Imagine
what he's
he's
doing.
just imagine he's just about to declare war and now he gets another Regency Council.
Oh.
It's a reason for rage quit.
So he has deals with England, right? England is letting him stay alive, and he gets
Yes.
institutions, and he gives
I
them on
think
the coast.
England lets him grow and expand, so he can build up more infrastructure. Then he can come and occupy.
But I mean, the more Mali sits there and devs his provinces and makes buildings, manufacturers, and so on, there's gonna be more trade flowing from Africa, right? So it's,
Yes,
I guess it's good for England, sort of.
England is playing very strategically. Yeah, that is like we have less and less players to talk about in this region. Unfortunately, so many of them died.
Yeah. I also wonder what the interaction is going to be between Castile and Mali. Like, Castile is almost done in Iberia. And he's already expanding in North Africa. Next up is Mali. How are those two going to interact? Maybe Sideways knows something about that.
Maybe if only he was here though.
I think Sideways wouldn't dare to attack an ally of England.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, he's not even talking about. Maybe he's scheming like behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have India. We have another guest here from our old friend Naiba. Hey Naiba.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine as well, thanks.
Yeah,
I see
I'm
you are
dead.
expanding. Yeah, dead. I thought you were expanding.
Well, I thought that as well, and then I was executed.
How it happened?
I don't know, like, I made some deal with Korea, like, between the sessions, and, like, about, like, making Manchu die and stuff. And then the Manchu player didn't show up, and, like, some random guy took over Manchu, and he has to be a magician or something like that. Because within, like, 5 minutes, he convinced Korea not only to let him live, but also to give him, like, Beijing, so he can form Qing and not be a horde anymore. I don't know how he did it, but yeah. And then all of Asia coalitioned against me, and I'm dead.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
That sounds like quite the turnabout. I'm so sorry.
Yes. It sounds interesting. But we will come to that. But like, let's talk about India. Twin, I see you formed Mughals and you expanded your influence into India. How it's going there for you?
Yeah, actually, the Indians were saying like, oh, no others than Indians can hold land in India except for you, Twin. You're nice. So me and Malwa and Vamanis are allied right now. So, and that's going pretty good. We have
Oh.
taken all of
So
India.
They don't have any problems you having all
Well,
core claims on all over their country.
I don't know. They seem friendly to me for now. I don't know. That's what they say to my face, though. Don't know what they're
Yeah.
saying behind my back. Of
Fair enough. So how you guys decided to partition India? Like you took Delhi region, I see, and Malwa is just like,
yeah, I was pretty generous overall with I didn't even know we were gonna let Mawa live, but for some reason Bamanis want to let Mawa live, so here we are. And yeah, I just made sure that they, if they want to, they can expand to other areas other than me. As you can see, Mawa is going west and east. Bamanis went a lot east this session. You can still go to Ayutthaya. So I hope that deters them from attacking me. We'll see though.
Seems like, but okay, so you are in between Asia and you are also in between Europe. So what do you see? Like, you have Persia at one side, you have India.
Yeah, I'm most
yeah.
afraid of Persia actually. I hope to placate Muscovy by helping him all the time when he needs to. Oryat I've been friendly with from the beginning, and Indians, yeah, I don't know what to think of them, but they seem nice to me. So and we're allied. So.
I mean, what else is there to ask for?
Yeah.
But the Indians aren't that strong, or maybe they've consolidated a bit. But I remember there was so much fighting in India, and no one had like anything, no buildings, devastation everywhere, no dev provinces. Everyone was just barely with their head above water.
Yeah, I think Bamanis has some really good generals.
Also, we can say it brought stability and peace to region.
Yes, I did.
Savior of India. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some nice generals there. Oh, he was actually asking, like, in Europe when we were fighting against Hungary, do you guys need any like generals? And I'm like, do you see me?
I can see.
Yeah, he's a 5 siege general as well. It's the first one I've seen this game actually.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He only has 40k troops. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not that strong. But, well, with this triple alliance here, with me, Mawa, and
Let's say
Mamanis.
chiefs led by lions.
Together you form a pretty strong block.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think as well.
Yes. India seems quite interesting. And also, let's. I was like, what is your relationship with Tibet? Like, do you see he's just like on your right?
My
Standing there?
relationship? Well, the other Indians really wanted to expand into them. So I just yeah. I didn't really want to hurt Tibet, because he's a nice buffer between the rest of the Asians. So, but yeah, they really wanted Bengal, so they attacked Tibet. Rip.
Oh, so there's a war going on right now.
No,
No,
that's
it's
already
over. I died.
Oh.
Like,
Oh,
Like,
Naiba
at the
has
moment
been
I'm-
killed.
at
Oh,
the moment,
no,
I'm at
no,
war with
no.
like Malva, and I'm going towards my second bankruptcy. Like, I'm like literally like 2 months away from my second bankruptcy.
Naiba, do you know what this is? I can tell you exactly what this is. This is the moment where you turn to ash and you must rise again.
You know, I already turned to ash when I went bankrupt the first time, and it seems like I'm staying ash.
Bankruptcy is a perfectly natural state of a nation. Okay, I have been there. I have done that. You come back from it.
Yeah, learn from sideways. He's rising like a phoenix. Do you guys want to add anything for India before we move on to Asia?
So, like, who's the real biggest problem for like Tibet in Asia? Then is it just the Mughals and stuff?
Oh, it's like everyone. Like, I was like literally at war with all of Asia, like Mughals, Bengal, Bamanis, Malva, Oirat, Manchu, Korea, and what's the
Why?
one in
Why does everyone want to
Oryat,
go
Oryat.
Tibet?
and no, I think I already counted Oirat, but
Oh.
like the in Indonesia, the one that's he's called
Why does everyone want to kill Tibet?
Majapahit.
He's
I
also
don't know why
attacking
everyone wants to kill me.
I didn't want to kill you. My allies wanted to kill you.
I played nice with everyone. Like, I played nice with like Bamanis and stuff. I stick to my deals.
Oh, sounds like me playing E4 101. Play nice with everyone, nice and peaceful. Suddenly everyone's killed me.
Yeah, let's move to Asia and see how Naiva is doing there and like the Asian politics. Naiva, you were explaining like how Chink player turned out to be a magician and
Like,
let Korea
literally.
let him live.
I don't know what he did, but within like 5 minutes, he convinced Korea to let him live and give him Beijing, so we could form Qing, and now he's like alive, and he even helped him eat my land and use land, and I don't know. Like, if he continues like this, he will just like be an absolute powerhouse later on. I think we are getting closer to Age of Absolutism, right?
Wait, let me understand this. Korea was about to kill Qing and let him live, and then give him Beijing so he can form Qing?
Yeah. Like, before the session, I talked to Korea,
What?
and the plan was like, kill Manchu before it like gets strong. And then the Manchu player didn't show up, and the new player came in, and within 5 minutes, he convinced Korea to let him live and gave him Beijing so he could form Qing.
That is... I have no words, actually.
Yes, I felt the same.
These borders, though, are so weird. Like, look, Korea has all the good coastal land, so he has all the income, all the trade, all the high dev land, actually. And then Qing has the red dirt in the interior of China. So, like, I don't even know where Qing is going with his expansion right now. I think Korea did it really smart with what he's taking. He's taking all the good dev land.
But still, he's like Korea, and he has to have like Qing
Yeah.
next to him.
I don't know how it will play out for him, but at least so far he is. He should be more dev than Qing. What's the
Yeah,
dev of
he
them?
definitely is.
What's
He's
Korea?
like one of the highest devs.
Yeah, it makes sense. Does anyone have, like, is the Manet of Heaven? Does anyone have the Emperor of China, or is that just offline?
No one took it.
Okay. Wow, he has 1,000 dev as Korea. Oh, okay. Qing is not even on them. Oh my god, Korea.
Korea is doing really great. Like he has killed Japan. He has kept Qing under control.
I think he's kind of overestimated how much control he's kept Qing under, because right now Qing has kind of made a wall between him and the West, so Qing can then try to blob quickly, and then once he reaches Korea's dev, it's kind of a different
Yeah.
story there.
And I imagine like Great Britain killing Majapahit, and with that, like Qing has like free reign in Indochina, and that would give him the necessary dev. We would have to see about that. Maybe Korea gets Indochina before Qing does.
So Great Britain is down here. Where is he?
He owns like the small island close to Canton, and I think he also has like Taiwan, or is that Majapahit? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, like I can't tell because the colors between Majapahit and Great Britain are really
But he has
similar.
like this small island where like I don't know if it's
I could see the island by Canton, yes.
yeah, that one, and he has like some islands in Indonesia, and he's starting to colonize Australia.
Is that Japan in Japan, or is that someone else?
Japan is dead.
So who owns Japan? The red one. Is that Majapahit? Is that who's
No.
I think
Ah,
it's like the old Japan, but he's like
Oh, okay,
the
old
player
Japan.
stopped like playing.
It's a vassal, Ashikaga.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, Korean players just like dominating the region, diplomatic.
Yeah.
militarily.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Next session he should be
One
here, and I
thing-
guess.
Let's see how long it takes before Qing turns on him.
One thing we can say for sure is that Supreme Leader is definitely proud.
Family is proud.
King is really weak though, guys. I checked at the income. Look,
Yeah, no, his
32.
income will be trash because Korea has literally all the good dev land, all the good trade node land. So Qing income will be trash.
went for exploration as well.
I don't know where else to go, so
Yeah. He has nowhere else to go. But we have one more place to go, which is America.
the land of the free and the brave.
Yes. Let's go there. So the last time we were here, we were talking about Cusco and Iroquois cult protect their countries, but we see England is just like massacring them by the thousands.
Yeah, oh, I see what's happened to Aztec.
Well, what didn't
Feels
happen to
bad.
Aztec?
Yeah, what didn't happen to him?
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Wow.
whip?
RIP. I think that's basically summary of North America right now. I mean, South America too.
Yes. both players got assaulted by Great Britain and his allies. Scotland became United States, basically, gave England all of his holdings, and Aztecs got killed by this alliance, and Inca lost most of his country, and United Kingdom is definitely unopposed in the region.
Yeah. What kind of ideas does the United States have?
We need to see.
And they went with the American ones.
Yeah.
Expansion, Portuguese again, yeah. Grand Council.
We're just there to make even more money for Britain, I guess.
They started as friends. Maybe we will see them fighting for
Yeah.
independence.
Maybe we'll get some historical accuracy here. Be nice.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, British Mexico. Maybe someone from last season should take notes on how to colonize the Aztecs.
Perhaps. Did any of you guys see exactly how this happened? Or because I mean, I can't even see America. I didn't even know this was what it looks like.
Me neither. When I just realized Aztec players left. So first I saw England declaring war on Aztecs as a pop-up. Then 5 to 10 minutes later I see Aztecs leaving the game. So that's
Okay,
all.
so that was the first war they ever had.
I guess so. If Aztecs got declared and he didn't pass all the reforms, I think it was the end of him. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Native Americans lose the first war before, and then they come back, they embrace institutions, they get an ally, and they're able to just kick the Europeans out.
Well, in this case, England has Ireland and Scotland just also watching the region for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they made a really great alliance. We were talking about how maybe Scotland would turn on him, but they just became really close friends. And he's formed the United States and left Scotland for good.
Yeah. Is Ireland planning to move somewhere, or is he gonna stay on Ireland?
Well, I honestly don't know about that.
He's in Brazil, guys.
Oh, he moved to Brazil?
Yeah, he
Oh,
didn't make
yeah.
a colonial nation, so I guess he moved his capital here, right? Let me just. Did he move his capital?
If you right-click on the island shield, you can go to their capital.
Yeah, it's in Brazil.
Oh, okay, so
New Dublin.
New Dublin.
Okay, so he's gonna from Brazil and give away his land in Europe to Britain, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's well played.
Well played.
I guess it's also because Castile competes with England.
Yeah, he's gonna colonize everything now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Silas, speaking of which, why did you take exploration ideas if you have no where to colonize?
Castile, dude. What do you mean I have? Hold up. First of all, what do you mean I have nowhere to colonize?
Well, look at England, he dominated already.
I don't care if England owns all of Mars. I have places to colonize. I will colonize London if I have to. Let's just put that as a side note. So,
Okay.
as for why I took exploration, I have nothing really to take as an idea. Right now, I'm still behind in tech, and I can't really put points into my idea groups. I took exploration, but I will not be filling it out anytime soon anyway. And in some case, I might even change it for another idea for now, and then maybe take it back again later on. Because right now, I just can't fill out an idea group, so I didn't know what to take. I just picked up exploration anyway.
Fair enough. So,
But there is still lots of places to colonize. There's still a lot of free land, a lot of entry points anyway.
Land of the free, you say?
Exactly, land of the free, land of the brave.
Okay.
Plus, Ireland and former Scotland. I think he's not playing the 15 colonies. Their capitals are now in the New World. So if anyone, not just me, if anyone lands in the New World and starts to fight them there, do you think England can help them? No, he can't. Oh no, he has boats. These boats can't cross on land. You can full siege them down and kill them before England can do anything.
Depends.
Depends on what.
It depends on how England will do actually. Like the diplomacy of the game. Maybe England will actually kill you before you even threaten him.
Like I said, it doesn't need to be me. Anyone who goes there can do it.
Yeah, that's also true.
France can do it. Anyone can do it. Italy can do it. For all I know, Italy will take over as a colonial power.
Okay, fair enough. So here we are at 1541, and we will be playing this Sunday yet again, and we will see lots of interesting things happening. What do you guys say before we close the session?
Good luck and Godspeed to the remaining survivors. And a special message I have to Poland is LOL. LOL. Where are you going to go, dude?
Well, I have my plans.
Austro bloc to the west, Muscovy to the east. Good luck to you.
I will definitely smash that door. Like I will not knock it. I will destroy that door.
Okay.
Wow, is this a threat to me?
No, I'm talking about
I see.
Austria.
I see.
No, I'm talking about Austria.
Oh wow. No. In the event
So-
that you do win, don't make our zeal too salty.
So basically, Poland became de facto vassal of Moscow at some point in the game, and England as
Still
well
is,
at the
you
same
mean?
time. Yeah. England as well, living by the protection of Great Lord in Moscow and the great financier in London. By the grace of them, I will return to my former glory, and I will make Poland great again.